you click every 20 seconds, right? That's the only thing you can do.
I'm not too sure, but I'm sure we'll find out.
So you stand over.
Should I put something?
Yeah, move the camera so that you can see her over there. Yeah, stand over there and he'll just click. I think that's the only thing you can do, otherwise we'll be here tomorrow.
Should I click on something or is it already running?
The red light is flashing, right?
Yeah.
So it's all good. Ready?
Yeah.
Go.
My presentation is going to be about something we all need, food. Food can be yummy, food can be biological, food can be rare in some countries, but can food as well be sustainable? And in what way food can be sustainable is going to be the guiding question for our presentation. So, thinking about Maastricht University, hundreds of students every day eat in the cafeteria, lunch or dinner, and come together and have fun. So the cafeteria is actually serving three main meals a day, and side dishes like sandwiches and muffins. So I was thinking to focus on sandwiches, as I think those are actually the students' favorite food, and they are available like all over the day, and are taking the main part of the menu of the cafeteria. So the question is, how to get the bread for the sandwiches. Currently, Maastricht University is using those warm-up breads, or breads who need to be warm up, from bakery chains. Those bakery chains, they are producing standardized baguettes, which are produced in masses at their production headquarters, and then are transferred to single stores all over the country. Therefore, they're able to charge really low prices. But those economies of scale can't be used by traditional little bakeries in Maastricht, because they are actually baking single baguettes themselves in their ovens. Therefore, they are struggling to compete with those chains. To illustrate this problem, there's a map in Berlin. You see all the bakeries at night. The blue dots are actually the chains, and the yellow ones are the ones that are traditional bakeries. And you can already see this is the current state. There are a lot of chains taking place. So even more shocking is, if you see now, in 5 to 10 years, half of the traditional bakeries will actually disappear, as they can't compete with the cheap bakery chains. So statistically, one bakery a day needs to be closed. Yeah. Therefore, having evaluated the problem, I was thinking what sustainability really means, and I think sustainable also means being socially responsive. And that starts being a part of a community. Maastricht University is a big part of the community in Maastricht and should take appropriate responsibilities. Therefore, I think Maastricht University should think global with their international character, but act local, meaning helping those little traditional bakeries to sustain against those cheap bakery chains and boost the local economy, saving some part of culture. And in the end, I think not only the bakeries will be happy, but also the students who will get healthier, richer in nutrients, and just fresh food and baguettes from the local bakeries. And Maastricht University will be one step closer to becoming a sustainable university. Thank you for listening.
So, who is giving feedback?
What I liked in the presentation, first you had a guiding question, so it was really easy for us to see where you're going to go. And the time management was really good, I think. We didn't have any problem. The only thing maybe is that you have to look at us, because we're all the time looking at you. And maybe some of the time we can at the whiteboard, so you should try to get eye contact, so it's easier for us to feel what you really want to say.
I was standing here going 5, 4, 3.
I actually think that if you're going to do this subject, you have to find out how much would it cost from a local bakery, because all these huge bakeries, they produce in like mass production. You'd have to find out as well, what about quality-wise? How much salt do they put in their bread if you compare it to a local baker's?
But quality is
for
always going to be better, right?
and a local baker, I
Yeah,
expect,
sure,
yeah.
yeah.
But if you can prove that kind of thing, then I think you have a good argument. But it's the cost.
And can I ask a question about that?
Yeah.
Because shouldn't it be that the university should also like give money for good projects? So that, I mean, you of course have to do a cost-benefit analysis, but what if your costs are just a little bit higher than the costs that you now have, for example, like with your new idea, they're just a little bit higher, but it's a lot better for the environment, and isn't that also?
Yes, it's a benefit for
Okay,
your
so
health.
then your,
If the bread from a local baker is better for your health, then it is a benefit.
okay, so it doesn't have to be lower in cost.
And there might be
per
indirect
se.
effects like boosting the
Indirect.
local economy and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But then you may go to that meaning, I think it's that you may go to the doctor less or something, I don't think so. But anyway, there are ways of putting a point across, but it's true, it's very sad that all these local shops are closing down. The high streets in England, the high streets, they're trying to regenerate and get people to come back to high streets because of all these shopping centres built outside of cities. It's a shame. Could you imagine if there was a huge shopping centre just outside of Maastricht? Maybe a lot of people wouldn't go to Maastricht anymore. Possible. There's one in Rome, but that's quite long.
And the Maastricht.
Yeah, Maastricht. Yeah. Okay, very good. Well, I think you've done very well. Really very good. I was surprised. Surprised but pleasantly surprised. Okay, have a nice. I don't see you tomorrow. It's my friend Aisha who's having you tomorrow.